back to Betty. I'm your host, Cynthia Thompson. We are here at the beautiful campus of North Carolina A&T, a wonderful black college here in North Carolina. And I have two special young ladies with me that are in different places in their lives. Michaela is a junior in high school, about to be a senior, and Keena is a junior, about to be a senior at North Carolina A&T. But first off, Keena, thank you so much for inviting us here to see your campus. It's a beautiful campus, isn't it, Michaela?
Yeah, it sure is.
It really is, and this fountain here is such a nice spot for us to sit. It's nice and cool. But I brought you two together because you're about to go to college and you're in college, so I think two of you can learn from each other or see if the college life is right for you. So, Michaela, what would you like to do whenever you go off to college?
Well, when I go to college, I plan to major in biology and minor in chemistry.
And what do you plan to do with that degree?
I plan to go to medical school and then become a doctor afterwards.
Wow, okay, so that's good. I need to get your business card before you leave so I have someone to go to when I need some help. So, Keena, you're in college now, a rising senior. What is your major?
Pre-law.
Pre-law. So you want to
Be an attorney or go to law school first?
and be an attorney and maybe a judge
Maybe.
or maybe a senator.
Yeah, or something.
The sky is the limit. So I brought you guys together so that we could talk about, so that you could learn really from Keena what it's like to go off to college since she's there now. So did you have any questions for her?
I wanted to ask you, how did you feel when you were away from home and you had to self-discipline yourself?
Ah,
Yeah, that's the toughest question because the answer I'm supposed to give you is like, study, 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 stay in the library. I'm sure your parents want to hear that, but the honest answer is you have to have a balance. So once you find, like when you're in high school now, you have things you're interested in, maybe a club or extracurricular activity. You kind of have to do that on your own and find out what fits for you so that you can make more friends, so that you don't start to miss home that much, and also so that when you're not studying, you're not just sitting in your room bored or feeling like, I want to go home really badly. So I would say, the best way to get disciplined is to give yourself an outlet outside of school so that you don't feel stressed all the time.
so the schools you want to go to are not here in Charlotte. They are, Wake Forest is where? In the Winston-Salem area, I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
And you want to go to UNC Chapel Hill?
Yeah.
So are you ready to go away from home?
I'm a little bit scared, but I'm prepared.
Well, I'm sure like whenever you went to college, you had a roommate, right?
Right.
So what was that experience like for you?
Well, I've had 2 roommates in the same room, and then I've also lived in a dorm where we each had our own rooms. And I would say having a roommate can be very great or very bad. But going into it, I would just not worry about it, because a lot of times you get a roommate who has a similar major, or you get a roommate who's from somewhere farther than you are. So you learn about somebody else while you're also learning about yourself outside of your family and friends.
So tell me, Michaela, have you had an opportunity to go away from home for a weekend away from your parents where you are with friends maybe or a church group?
Yes, one time during school we traveled to D.C. with the school, and another time we went to Camp Thunderbird, which is a camp that we went there with the school as well.
So you know kind of what it's going to be like to be away from home.
Yeah.
Is that something that you're worried about?
Yeah, partly, but I'm ready because it's a part of my life and it's the next step in my life to become an adult. So
You made a very good point there. So Keena, did you learn anything when you left home for school, your first semester?
Yes, I remember like my mom leaving, and it was kind of uncomfortable because it's like, oh man, you can't go back now. Like this is new. But I will say, after the first couple months, you get used to like being an adult, kind of, and you really get used to like you get to talk to your family over the phone. So it's like you don't miss them as much. But it doesn't get that lonely. By the time you start missing them like crazy, it's time to go home for Thanksgiving. So it's not as bad.
So Keena, let's take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk some more about your first day at school. Okay?
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. That single ember can ignite and destroy your home or even your community. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get Fire Adapted now at fireadapted.org.
G-Morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. You up? What'd you dream about? Me? JK. Text me back. I'll keep texting till you wake up. Are your parents home later? Is this something I did? Exclamation point, we're in a huge fight right This isn't a joke. Hello? Text me.
"7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks more than 4 miles long. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step.
Adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Hi, welcome back to Betty. I'm your host, Cynthia Thompson, here with Michaela, a rising senior here in Charlotte, and with Keena, a rising senior in college. Now, before we went on break, we've already talked about all the serious stuff. Now, Keena, what's some of the fun stuff about going to college, besides being away from home?
Okay, the fun stuff, most schools plan activities right before exams so that we can all relax and not stress too much. So that's like a school function type of fun. But fun outside of school,
You can tell this.
I was looking at my mom's watching. I love my mom. But I had a lot of fun my freshman year just because you're not taking like extremely rigorous courses yet. They're trying to get you warmed up. So you have plenty of time to meet new people. Like most people go to like a student union and get to know people outside of class. I will say Thursday night, do not fall into the club chat because then you can't get up on Friday. Not to say that I did that, but people do that in college.
Yeah, right.
Let me think what else I won't be telling on myself.
You know we don't believe anything you're saying,
Okay.
right?
Well, I will say on the weekends, don't stay in your room. Don't be that person who's afraid to meet new people. But I mean, I've already met you myself, so I know you're gonna have a lot of fun. But I think that it's easy sometimes to get by yourself and feel like you have to do all your homework. Right, like do your homework ahead of time so that you can have your weekend to yourself and have something fun to do.
So, Michaela, do you have a hard time making new friends or meeting people?
Not really, but it can be extremely difficult. Like let's say if you're going to a college that's not near your hometown and meeting people that you have no idea who they are, and like your friends from high school don't necessarily go to the same college as you. So.
But you know, Michaela, you won't be alone. There'll be other young ladies out there in the same place where you are, so you all can connect. So tell me, Michaela, are you real active at your school? Do you go to the sporting events, the parties, and stuff like that?
Yeah, I used to play soccer at my school, and then next year I'm planning to play tennis. And then I also am in a whole bunch of honors clubs, like National Honor Society, and that's a really good club, an academic club.
So, Keena, when you were at college, while you're at college, do you go to the games? Are you in any clubs?
Yeah, mostly I went to the basketball games just because I don't like being outside. But clubs-wise, I'm in 2 or 3 of the pre-law clubs for people in my major. So that's good because we're all kind of in the same place anyway.
Right.
So if one person finds out a good internship or good information, then all of us know. So that's good. But I will say, like, where I live with a lot of college students who live off campus. So we all kind of like bounce off each other to help us figure out what we're doing in school, like how to get us in good areas around the city that will help us outside of college or after we graduate.
So you live off campus?
Yes.
What is that like?
That's like being an adult. I started paying bills as soon as I moved off. So that was interesting. Yeah, stay on campus as long as you want to because you won't have to pay a bill every month. The school just pays it magically. But once you leave,
but she could learn something from living out on her own. What is that situation like in living off campus? Do you have a roommate?
So I have one roommate. I could have chose to have as many as I wanted, but it's just easier for me to only deal with one person. But how it works is the financial aid that you used to get directly to the school housing now comes to my wallet. So I have the choice to be responsible and pay it each month, which is why I was saying make a budget, because when you get a large amount of money that you're not used to, it's like, oh, I have all these ideas where I want to spend this money. But you have to remember, like, I'm a college student, so I'm still young, but I also have to, show my parents that I'm responsible.
Right.
But, yeah.
So, Michaela, do you think that's something you would want to do? Would you like to live off campus for
Yeah.
a little while?
Yeah, it would be a great learning experience, especially when I go off to medical school.
Yes, it would be. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk some more with these young ladies about transitioning from high school to college. Okay?
Together now, we can make it better now. Come on, can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. We'll rope it up, cause we know how to jump. We'll roll it out, cause we know how to skate. We'll cut it down, cause we know what to eat. We'll swap it out, we eat healthy stuff. Can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. Can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. Yeah, well, come on.
Today's a good day to grab your kids and hang out with them for an hour. Dance, walk, play a sport, or cook a healthy meal. Because just moving a little and eating better every day can help make you and your child healthier.
Can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. We'll ball it up, cause we know how to hoop. We'll mess around, cause we know how to play. We'll drop it down, cause we know how to dance. We'll veg it up, veg night and day. Can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. All in together now, we can make it better now.
Search We Can to find doable tips and activities that you can use every day to keep you and your kids healthy.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing.
I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
$7,000 high school students drop out every school day. Let's catch them before it's too late. To start helping students in your community, visit boostup.org.
Hi, welcome back to Betty. I'm your host, Cynthia Thompson. I'm here with Michaela. I'm here with Keena, and we're talking about Michaela getting ready to go off to college and what she's got to look forward to. You know, Keena, I was just thinking while we're on commercial break, you're going to all-black school, but Michaela, you'll be going to a more mixed school. Do you think maybe you should try an all-black school, or are you just set in on those two?
I think it's important to also go to a HBCU, but it's also important to go to a mixed school just because, like, in the real world, it's diverse. So, and it's not just one color; it's all colors. So,
and so at Wake Forest and UNCC, I'm sure they have some black clubs for the African American students at the school. Will you be joining any of those?
yeah, I plan to.
You plan to? Which one do you want to join?
I'm not really sure what the names of the ones that are yet, but yeah, I do plan to.
So, Keena, did you join any sororities while you are in school? No. You chose not to. So why is that?
Well, I have to go to law school after this part of my life, so I really wanted to focus. I'm sure some people can juggle everything, but I just feel like I wanted to build my GPA.
So while you were in school, or while you're in school, I keep saying it in the future tense, like you're done, but you're not yet.
Almost.
Did you work while in school too? So how did you manage that?
I would say, like, you find out you have a lot of free time after a while, especially if you have classes in the morning, which is what I started doing. So after, like, 3 o'clock, I had nothing to do, so I just started working.
Do you think that may be something you want to do?
Yeah.
Maybe to work somewhere?
Yeah, in high school, well, senior year, I'm gonna probably start working because I'm gonna get my driver's license. So yeah, and my parents want me to prepare because, like, you know, driving as a teenager, it's like more a risk, and like you have to have insurance, and it's gonna go up, and so they really want to make sure that I'm prepared for it.
So that means if you get your driver's license, you might get a car.
Wink, wink.
Hopefully, my dad's car.
So when you start in your freshman year, can you take a car to school?
Typically, no. Usually, no. Just because you already need to focus just on your grades first.
I see.
But most schools, if you have a good GPA, you can drive the second semester.
The second semester. So you'll be able to take your car to school second semester. I'm claiming that you're going to have your own car.
Yeah, hopefully.
For you. So ladies, we've been talking about school and clubs and balancing school and work and social life. But Keena, you haven't mentioned anything about boyfriends?
What?
How do you fit those into your busy schedule?
I will say my first 2 years of college, I tried to stay as far away as possible just because I knew I needed to concentrate. But now that I'm almost done, I have more free time to hang out. But I will say it's easier to, like, date, kind of, because you get to spend, like, your food money that you have on your student account. So you're not making somebody go broke trying to take you out to eat because you could just use campus money. So it's fun, but take your time because we're all there for the same reason, and some people can't focus as well as others. So, yeah.
So, Michaela, did you want to ask Keena anything else about the college experience?
How was it, like, academically, like, with the courses and stuff? Like, was it, like, really a big transition for you?
Well, in high school, I was in IB, so, like, International Baccalaureate, so my classes were hard. So once I got to college, I really wasn't, I don't want to tell you, like, I wasn't studying, but I didn't have to work as hard as everybody else because we were already being pressed for college already. So I would say, like, if your school is already preparing you for the next step, then you should be fine as far as just studying, and you should do really well in your classes. Plus, you're doing, like, biology and chemistry. So I would say, yeah, as long as you study really hard, I would say you'll be fine. Like, based on talking to you now, it seems like you'll do great.
So you're in honors classes, right?
And AP.
So that's
You're ready. You're ready.
I didn't have to ask.
Are you taking the exams?
Yeah, I'm taking the AP Chem exam tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, you will be plenty prepared because the tests that we had after IB and we went to take tests in college, I was like, this is easy. Like, this isn't as painstakingly, like, annoying as the test that I took in high school.
So it sounds like you're ready. You got your head on straight.
Yeah.
So, Keena, any lasting words for Michaela before we go?
I would just say, like, always remember, if you have one goal in mind, if you see yourself as a plastic surgeon, just hold on to it because there are going to be days where you get tired where you don't feel like studying, or there are times where you get that one teacher that just doesn't understand you, just hold on to the goal that you have, and I promise you'll be okay.
Thank you, ladies, for joining me. This was wonderful. It's such a nice day out here at A&T College. I'm so glad you came. And I want to thank each and every one of you for watching my show, A Better You, here on Public Access 21, every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. You know, everybody.